Good morning, everyone. Hare Krishna. Pongal, you say, right? Pongal. This is your Pongal in South India. So, happy Pongal. And Hare Krishna. Happy to be here. We're having a big festival, yes, for 3 days. Many big Mahatmas are coming. Bibi Govinda Maharaj, Mukunda Dutt, one of our great scholars in ISKCON. Of course, you have a great scholar you're living with for many years, Urbana Swami Maharaj. I was saying yesterday, this whole fantastic, amazing project is just a manifestation of the heart of Manu Swami, out of his love for Srila Prabhupada, to produce this wonderful temple here. You're very fortunate all to be serving under his guidance. So we have a short class today, made shorter by the fact we had longer kirtan, but what to do? It's our process. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Because time is limited, I'll just recite the verse myself and the translation and part of the purport, because this is really a 4-page purport. Narupa rupe guna janma kamabhir irupitavye tavatasya sakshina mano vachobhyam anumebhya bhartmano deva kriyayam patiyant yatapihi. This is Srimad Bhagavatam 10:2, prayers by the demigods, text 36. O Lord, your transcendental name and form are not ascertained by those who merely speculate on the path of imagination. Your name, form, and attributes can be ascertained only through devotional service. Purport. As stated in the Padma Purana, Atashi Krishna Namadi Nabhaved Grayamindriyai Sevamukha Hijivado Swameva Sparatyada. One cannot understand the transcendental nature of the name, form, quality, and pastimes of Sri Krishna through one's materially contaminated senses. Only when one becomes spiritually saturated by transcendental service to the Lord are the transcendental name, form, quality, and pastimes of the Lord revealed to him. Since Krishna and his transcendental name, form, and activities are all of a transcendental nature, ordinary persons or those who are only slightly advanced cannot understand them. Even big scholars who are non-devotees think that Krishna is fictitious. Yet although so-called scholars and commentators do not believe that Krishna was factually a historical person, whose presence on the battlefield of Kurukshetra is recorded in the history of Mahabharata, they feel compelled to write commentaries on Bhagavad Gita and other historical records. Om Agyantimadam Dasya Ginam Gina Shalakaya Chakshunamilitam Jena Tasmai Sri Sri Chaitanya Maro Pishtam Shtapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadanti Svapadantikam Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaur Govindam Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama. O Lord, your transcendental name and form are not ascertained by those who merely speculate on the path of imagination. Your name, form, and attributes can be ascertained only through devotional service. So once again, because it's the Yuga Dharma, it's the process for becoming self-realized, more than self-realized, becoming God-conscious. Self-realized means us, but more important than us is Krishna. the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So the Yuga Dharma of chanting the holy names of the Lord, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, is the religion of this age. Therefore, we constantly hear about the holy name throughout our Vedic scriptures. In particular, our Gaudiya Vaishnava scriptures written by the followers of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who's the Yuga Avatar. So in this verse we hear how the holy names of the Lord can only be fully appreciated and understood by those who practice devotional service to the Lord. As we know, we've discussed many times, the Lord has unlimited holy names. Lord Chaitanya states this in his Shikshastra compares. Nam nam kari bahu daha nija sarva shaktish. That the Lord has hundreds and millions of names, and then he gives just two, like Krishna and Govinda. He selects two. Out of all the unlimited holy names, Mahaprabhu selects two. It's interesting. Krishna and Govinda. Now it's interesting to note that although the Lord does have unlimited names, we're instructed by our acharyas, by Srila Prabhupada, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, to specifically chant the name Krishna. In other words, we don't have to just, it's not like you pick and choose. All the names are transcendental and we can chant any of them, but specifically we are instructed to chant this name Krishna. Now if all the Lord's names are absolute, why are we instructed to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra? Well, this is interesting. There's a number of reasons why we, as Gaudiya Vaishnavas, just mainly chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Because Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has described that although all the names of the Lord are absolute, meaning non-different than Him. One time Prabhupada said, when you chant Hare Krishna, the Lord is dancing on the tip of your tongue. Nama Chintamani Krishna's Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha. There's no difference between the name of Krishna and Krishna himself. That's the meaning of that his name's absolute. But, that being the case, some of the names are, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, they're primary and some are secondary. Kind of a technical term there. Some of God's names are primary names, some of his names are secondary names. Meaning some of the Lord's names are of the utmost importance, and some may be lesser important. How can one of God's names be lesser important? Not that any name of God is less important, but some are more powerful, and some are less powerful. Absolutely less powerful. Wow, what a statement. Some are very powerful, and some are not quite as powerful. So let me explain that. Shastra says, 1,000 names of Vishnu are equal to one name of Ram. So there's less power, more powerful. 1,000 names of Vishnu. Vishnu, 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 Vishnu. 1,000 times is equal to one name of Ram. And 3 names of Ram are equal to one name of Krishna. So you can chant Vishnu. You can chant Ram. Raghupati Raghava Raja Ram. Patita Pavana Sita Ram. But better you chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, because it's all in one. The name Ram, Prabhupada said, can mean felicity, pleasure, enjoyment. It can mean Lord Ramachandra. It can also mean Lord Balaram. And Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes that the secondary names of Krishna. There's the primary and the secondary, remember. So secondary names, they describe the greatness of God. Mahavishnu. Maha means what? We know Mahaprashadam. Prashadam is absolute, but Mahaprashadam comes from the deities. Whoa. So Mahavishnu, the great Vishnu. This is the secondary name. It's describing the greatness of God. Paramatma. Paramatma. Atma means the soul. Param, the supreme. Param Purusha, the supreme soul, supreme personality of Godness. So Paramatma. This is describing the greatness of God. How great is Paramatma? When we fall from grace, we fall from our spiritual position into the material creation, He accompanies us in our hearts, birth after birth after birth. Not just you and me, but all created beings. Or if they come to this world, if they're unfortunate enough to come here, He accompanies us. I heard a tape recently, Prabhupada said, when you fall from the spiritual world, the Lord accompanies you a little distance, tries to convince you, don't go, don't leave my abode, don't go down to Chennai, don't go to the material world, stay with me. We don't agree. So He expands Himself into the heart of every living being. He's personally in the spiritual world, He's all pervading by His energies, and He's in the heart of every living. Very great. A friend in need is a friend indeed. We abandon Him, but He never abandons us. We forget Him, but He never forgets us. He always has our interest at heart. And every day He comes knocking on the door. Boom, boom, boom. Come home, you fool. Every day? Yes. Every day of Brahma. And the demigods are more elevated than us. So Vedic calculation and time is by the time of the demigods. Like, who cares about the time of ants? Ant asks, we're more, but most important is the devatas, more important devatas. So time calculation. So once in a day of Brahma, every day He comes. If someone knocks on your door every day with the same message, kind message, merciful message, causeless mercy, that's something special. So He's there in the heart. He accompanies us. Or like Allah, Alakbal Alhamdulillah, Shulam Alakam. These are mantras, not really mantras, because I do a lot of preaching in Muslim countries. When I come to the immigration, foreigner, Caucasian, white person, in Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Dagestan, like, what are you doing here? Like, are you on some secret mission? Are you a missionary? Al-Akbar, alhamdulillah, I say. There is no God but God, and Muhammad is His prophet. Welcome to our country. It's a little diplomacy. With respect, actually, I say, with respect. And Buddha means the enlightened one. So such names indicate the power, the majesty, the awesomeness of God. That's fine. Secondary. But Yashodanandana, Gopijana Bhalava, Girivardhari reveal the very sweet, confidential nature of the personality, the characteristics, and the pastimes of the Lord. Those are primary names. And the result of chanting the primary names, not just the Al-Akbar, Buddha, Vishnu, but the primary names like Yashodanandana, Gopijana Bhalava, Girivardhari. What's the result of chanting those primary names? That's described by Sri Rupa Goswami Prabhupada in his Namashtakam. Namashtakam. That's taken from a book called Shtavamala. It's very nice what he says. Why we chant the primary names. He writes, O holy name, I pray that my love for you in your many forms, such as Agama Dhamana, the crusher of Aghasura, Yashodanandana, the son of Yasoda, Nanda Sunu, the son of Nanda, Kamala Nayana, the lotus-eyed one, Gopi Chandra, O moon of the gopis, Vrindavanendra, king of Vrindavan, Prana Takurana. It's an interesting name. Panu Takurana means merciful to the surrendered souls. And Krishna, may increase and increase and increase my love for you. That's why we chant primary names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. With great eagerness, lolium, greed. Oh my Lord, I'm drowning in the fathomless whirlpool of material existence. Oh, you who give shelter to the shelterless, please, just this one time, won't you extend your hand to save me? Pajavali, Shiva Goswami. So again, chanting secondary names of Krishna, they awaken our appreciation for God, and that's necessary. That's necessary. Aishwarya Bhav means to recognize the superiority of God before moving on to his intimate pastimes in Vrindavan. First, we have to realize that we are very small and God is very great. We have the same qualities as God, but not the same quantity of those qualities. Like the ray of sun has all the qualities of the sun, but not in quantity. So we're godly, but we're not God. If we're God, why are we struggling in this material existence? Is this a Leela of God to struggle? Krishna, who's the all-attractive, supreme enjoyer. We're struggling with birth, disease, old age, and death. So how are we God? We're not God. So we first have to reestablish a lost relation, a lost connection with God. We have to realize He's very great, we're very small. He's master, we're servant. And when that's firmly established, then we can go deeper into understanding the loving pastimes of Krishna in Vrindavan. That's why those pastimes are described in the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. So that's why we study the first 9 cantos to get an understanding of how great is God, how great He actually is. And then we won't misunderstand His loving pastimes with His devotees, where He becomes, Raktak's friend, and they wrestle on the sands of Ramanreti, and He dances with the gopis in the autumn moon, and the autumn moon in Vrindavan. We won't misunderstand those pastimes. So chanting secondary names awakens our appreciation for Krishna, but chanting primary names awakens our deep love for Him. Now we heard of some of those names. Nandasunu, Kamalanayana, Gopichandra, Vrindavanendra. But of all those primary names which awaken our bhava, there's a deep seed within the heart, prema, love for Krishna. It's there even in the bumblebee and the flower and the tree. But it becomes awoken by chanting the most potent of God's primary names. We're going into detail here. It's primary, secondary, so we heard some primary names, but what's the most important? Krishna. Krishna. Of all the primary names, Krishna is the most important. Why? Because that's what He's known by in His hometown. Hometown. What's Krishna's hometown? Vrindavan. It's not, that's actually, it's described, it's the playground of God. Vaikuntha is the official kingdom of God. Om Narayanaya Namaha. But the topmost planet, Golok, that's where Krishna allows Himself to be controlled by the love of His devotee. So in Vrindavan, everyone knows Him as Krishna. If you say Bhagavan, Mother Yashoda won't know who Of course, you may know social norms are there. They worship Vishnu. But it doesn't elicit the same sentiment from her heart as if you say Krishna. If you say Bhagavan, Parashara Muni says that is the definition of God, He who owns all 6 opulences. But that's not going to bring the bhav, the love from the heart of Mother Yashoda. If you say Bhagavan, you say Krishna. Tears flow from her eyes like torrents of rain because her little boy has gone to herd the cows in the forest with the cowherd boys all day. And a moment of separation from him seems like 12 years. Oh Govinda, feeling your separation, I'm considering a moment to be like 12 years or more. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain. So everyone calls him Krishna. So that is the of all the primary names, that's the most important, Krishna. Now you're saying that's because you're a Krishna Bhakta. That's because you're a Gaudiya Vaishnava. That's because you're a Hare Krishna devotee. You say that. But in spiritual circles, when you say something, you have to back it up with Shastra. If you say, especially here in South India, Dravida Desh, so many intelligent persons, so many great acharyas have come from South India. But if you say something, you have to back it up by Shastra. You have to be a shlokawala, like Swami Maharaj, or you have to be a shlokawala like Vaisheshika Prabhu. You back it up. So it's not our opinion because we're Krishna Bhaktas. That Krishna's name is the most important of the primary names is there in the commentary of Baladev Vidyabhushana on the Sri Vishnu Sahasranam Stotra, the 1,000 names of Vishnu. He makes it very clear. This primary name, Krishna, is most important. He writes, of all the names, Baladev Vidyabhushana, of all the names of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna is the most important, as the Lord himself has confirmed. My dear Arjuna, Krishna is the most important of all my names. There it is. You can tattoo it. We don't do some, I don't like tattoos, but if you want to do a tattoo. Of all the names of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna is most important. As the Lord himself has confirmed, my dear Arjuna, Krishna is the most important of all my names. Voila. We say in French, c'est ça. It's also considered the most important name because it comes from the most important planet in the spiritual sky. There's so many planets, as I was mentioning, unlimited. And Krishna likes it like that. Variety is the spice of life. Aishvarya Bhava is there. He likes to be served as the master. And the hearts of many devotees, that's how they like to serve him. But there's perfect, more perfect, and most perfect. And most perfect is our understanding of Krishna in Goloka. Go can be taken to mean cows, and Loka means planet. So according to Jiva Goswami, Goloka means the planet of cows. What's your param gatim, Prabhu? What's your goal of life? My goal of life is to go to the planet of cows. Excuse me? I'll explain a little bit later, you tell them. Planet of cows. And there the Lord of all creation is a cowherd boy. And his devotees enjoy very intimate, loving dealings with him. He's the king in Vaikuntha, but he's a little darling child, Damodar, of Nanda and Yashoda in Gokul. In Vaikuntha, he's the king, but aside from the kings, the mood there is, Dwarkadish has his wives and his family members, but everyone else's relationship is fairly limited, not like Vrindavan, where you can touch and wrestle and play with Krishna. There it's from a distance, but it's also very nice. So the name Krishna is a primary name of the Lord. It's his original name. And by his causeless mercy. Causeless means there's no cause except his compassion. That we don't deserve it. What do we deserve? Brahmanda Brahmita Konya Bhagavan Jeev Guru Krishna Prasad Bhai Bhaktilat Bij. Brahmanda Brahmati Konya Bhagavan Jeev. The Jeev, the living entity, has been traveling since we fell from grace. Bloop. Prabhupada would use that term when someone left Krishna consciousness. Bloop. He said like throwing a rock in the ocean. Bloop. Makes a sound. So we bloop back into the material world. So when we fell from grace into this material world, it was a very sad situation. We don't deserve His mercy. We turned our back on Him. If you're speaking to someone, and that person just goes, ha, turns their face and walks away, that's an insult. So Bahirmukha, it's described in Shastra, Bahirmukha, we turned our face from God. The beautiful, effulgent God, you turn your face, you see the shadow of material existence, the darkness of ignorance, illusion. Nonetheless, He comes. He comes to this material world to save us. It's described, the incarnations are as unlimited as the waves of an ocean. You have an ocean here, it flooded your community recently. So you see how many waves are coming. Almost unlimited, almost. But they keep coming. So that's how many incarnations are. 10 primary incarnations. God's called Tri-Yuga Avatar. He comes in Treta. He comes in Satya, Treta, Dwapara Yuga. There's no mention He personally comes. Vishnu comes in 4 yugas, Kali Yuga, but He comes. How does He come? Kali Kali Nam Rup Krishna Avatar. Nama Hoita Hoya Sarva Jagata Nishtar. He comes. In this age of Kali, the holy name of the Lord, the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, is the incarnation of Lord Krishna. Simply by chanting the holy name, one associates with the Lord directly. Anyone who does this, who chants Hare Krishna, is certainly delivered. So He's come. But who cares? Manushanam sahasresu yastiti karishidhaye. Out of millions and millions and millions and millions and millions and billions and quadrillions, maybe one person is interested in spiritual life. And out of those, hardly one understands Krishna in truth. That's all of you. You're a rarity. You're rare gems in the muck of material existence because you recognize that incarnation. Krishna comes in us in the form of sound. And when an incarnation comes, what do? Just hang around? No, they come for a specific purpose or purposes. Incarnations come, paritranaya sadhanam vinashaya chaduskritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Incarnations come, the 10 incarnations come for those 3 reasons alone. To deliver the pious and annihilate the miscreants, as well as to reestablish the principles of religion. I myself appear, millennium after millennium. Bravo, Haribo. So does this incarnation, Sri Nam Prabhu, qualify as a bona fide incarnation? Does he do those 3 things? Does the holy name deliver the pious? Yes, look in the mirror. Does he annihilate the demons? Yes, but in a special way. He annihilates their demoniac consciousness. He doesn't kill them like in previous ages. He kills their divine their demoniac consciousness. And does the holy name reestablish religious principles? What is religion founded on? What's the foundation, the basis of religion? The fundamental building block of religion. Cleanliness, truthfulness, mercy, and austerity. You have to start there to become civilized. So when you become a Hare Krishna devotee, you promise cleanliness, truthfulness, mercy, austerity. So, yes, this Hare Krishna mantra, Krishna in the form of His holy name, is fulfilling the obligations of an incarnation. And in a big, big way. In a big way. If it wasn't for this Hare Krishna movement, which is the principal movement, let us just say in-house here, the principal movement for propounding the glories of that Hare Krishna Mahamantra, the world would be in a much worse situation. You can be sure of that. If Prabhupada hadn't come to the West with the message of Mahaprabhu, who knows what society would be now. This is all due to the sound of Krishna's holy name. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. People are considering so many ways to save the world from war, environmental destruction, greed, abuse, misgovernment. But there's a panacea. Panacea means one almost magical, mystical solution. And that's just if everyone chanted Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Everything's purified. Your heart's purified. Those who hear the chanting's purified. Everything's purified. One time Prabhupada had to go to court in Calcutta because there was an issue with the Mayapur land. He had to go. He was so kind. He went to the court with his devotees. There was a case taking place. He had to be there personally. So when they got in the courtroom, Prabhupada said, have kirtan. He said this atmosphere is impure because of the lies of the lawyers. He said lawyer means liar. I'm sorry if any of you are lawyers. So he said it's contaminated. You know, there's the judge, there's, you know, all the advocates, everybody in kirtan. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Like everyone, the judge is like, what? Prabhupada said, stop. It's all purified now. So this mantra is very, very powerful. Very, very powerful. So we may sing many bhajans and many names of the Lord, and we should definitely do that, but mainly we should chant Hare Krishna. Mainly we should chant Hare Krishna. In the Krishna Shandharba, I was reading the other day, Krishna Shandharba by Jiva Goswami. He writes something really amazing. Krishna is the original name of the Lord, and all the other names are simply part and parcel of the original name of Krishna. The original name of Krishna is more powerful than the other names, his other names, and the result of chanting the name of Krishna is greater than that of chanting any other name of God. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So we've had many classes. I'm going to finish now. We have many classes about the holy names, but this philosophy shouldn't go in one ear and out the other ear. My father used to help me with my homework, and I'd fall asleep. He'd say, son, what I'm saying to you is going in one ear and out the other ear. We should take this to heart. There's that saying, right? To take something to heart. We should take the chanting to heart. We shouldn't lament what we don't have. We should just consider what we do have. You'll never have everything. There was a song, I have it all, I want it all and I want it now. There was a song like that in the 80s. I want it all, but I want it now. Even if you get it all now, you won't keep it like Hiranyakashipu, Ravana. They got it, but they lost it because they had it for the wrong reason. They didn't use it properly. So we must be satisfied with what Krishna gives us. But we should always meditate on what we have in the form of all the blessings. And the supreme blessing that we have is this mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Rupa Goswami, Prabhupada, our dear Acharya, Rasa Acharya, he writes in Padyavali, O Lord, just as a miser continually collects, counts, and remembers his money, in the same way let us continually collect, count, and remember your holy names. This is our good fortune. We have so much good fortune. We don't know what to do with it. Prabhupada's father, Gaur Mohan De, he said the Lord has unlimited arms and hands, and if he wants to give you something, what your two little hands can hold. We have so much. There's a long list of our good fortune. So we shouldn't get depressed, we shouldn't get unhappy, disillusioned. So many things don't go our way. That's okay, because we have a long list of blessings. Raghunath Das Goswami has written a list of our good fortune in his Manashiksha. O mind, I grasp your feet and beg you with sweet words, please throw away all your pride and develop intense, extraordinary love for my spiritual master. Brajabhumi, the people of Braj, the Vaishnavas, the Brahmanas, the Gayatri Mantra, the holy names, and the transcendental shelter, which is the youthful couple of Braj. That's our list. They're going to blow the conch now. And with that, I finish? I should finish now? Yes? Finish. 2 seconds. So we should take time to cultivate this, take it to heart. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur suggests the following to develop our appreciation and love for the mantra, our most precious blessing, the Maha Mantra. The devotee should make it a regular practice to spend a little time alone in a quiet place and concentrate deeply on the holy name. He should utter and hear the name distinctly. It is impossible for the jiva to single-handedly avoid and overcome the illusion of distraction. By the mercy of the Lord, however, this is accomplished with ease. So we should chant, 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 and we should distribute that chanting to others. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, in his purports to Sri Chaitanya Shikshamrita, writes, in the teachings of Srimad Mahaprabhu, there are only 2 principal instructions: develop a taste for chanting the holy names and display compassion for the fallen conditioned souls. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki, Gratara Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Hare Krishna Maha Mantra ki, Jai Go Premanande! Hare Krishna.